This is your daily market recap for Thursday, July 28th, 2022. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at EXPI Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is your daily market recap for Thursday, July 28th, 2022. Let's get into it. All right. If you are new to the channel, please check out the Discord room. Link is in the description below. We are talking all day, doing things, adding some notes, trying to create as much content for traders, again, who aren't necessarily new, but think they're missing out on the edge. They're not consistent. They're having struggles with particular small issues in trading. They feel like they're close. They feel like they're about to turn the corner. But what happens? The market plays the game against them. They're not familiar with these games, not familiar with how the action works. Because right now, I want to talk about my favorite picture. This is current. I don't know where the screenshot is, but point being is this is what we thought. Everybody thought SPY head and shoulders top, and then what? Fail. Now you have to blow everybody out. The market continues to go higher. We have been bullish. We tried to short, and every time we shorted small, we got wiped out. Those are signs that, again, you have to be able to admit when you short the market and it continues to go higher, you have to at least admit to yourself what the market's going higher. But now where, when, how much further? Let's talk about that. Stick around. Hopefully this helps out. Again, if you're new to the channel, link is in the description below. Follow, subscribe, whatever you want. Again, this is a channel where I get this. It literally is meant for people who are willing to work hard to figure out how to trade better. If you're looking for easy answers and you want to just pretend that you can trade without being knowledgeable, it's no different than me giving you a basketball and saying, hey, do you want to compete against LeBron James? And you're like, yeah, I can do it. Let me go play in the gym and I'll figure it out. It's like, no, it doesn't work like that. You need to build skills. You need to be aware of the market. You need to learn how to do and execute to win. Anyway, rolling on. Bitcoin, what we talk about, back testing the channel. I mean, you can literally see it hit that green zone we had painted. Sorry. And now what? Looks like it's holding up. Seems okay. Now, again, keep in mind, Bitcoin long term. I mean, I'm going to say the same thing because gold friends are just so bullish gold. And it's like, guys, we know it's bouncing. Cool. Awesome. Just remember, sentiment at the lows should not be bullish for a long-term bottom. That's what I worry about. Everyone's pumping Bitcoin, pumping gold at the bottom. Everyone's saying the Fed's going to pivot. No, the Fed just did a 75 basis point rate hike. They are not on the pivot train. There's no pivoting at this moment. We need worse jobs. We need some things to happen. Anyway, oil, keep telling people, watch somewhere in the 100 range is my guess. We'll get a test. We will get these tests, okay? We will get these tests. Just beware. What? I believe oil is going lower in time. But time, not now. I'm not shorting it. I have no desire to put my face into that meat grinder and get just beat. Because what is the one thing that we know, right? If the market's rising, gas, oil, all this stuff should hold up pretty well. TLT, again, we still think we're going to get into this 120s range at some point. I own this as a hedge / just long-term hold in the sense that I know rates are going lower. The recession is here. We've been talking about it. Everyone knew the recession was coming. That's why the bonds are the smartest market. They picked up on this much quicker. And people were buying bonds because we saw deflation. Now, everyone used to argue with me like, oh, look at the CPI. It's going to be bad. And it's like, well, no, shiitake, Sherlock. We already knew that. But what have we seen since then? You've seen oil peak. You've seen gas come down. You see copper. You've seen prices and commodities come down, which, again, it's probably just temporary. Keep that in mind. But what do we know? Deflation near term, like the sentiment of deflation. That's, whether you believe it or not, that's what's going on. So you got to do what the market's doing. That is your goal, not to put your prejudices into the market and hope you're going to be right. Like that's how you fail at trading. I can guarantee that. Dollar, talked about, it's probably going to, at some point, retest what? All of the support, somewhere in the low 28s. Just keep it simple. The VIX, everybody said, you're crazy. You're crazy. The market's not going higher. I'm like, the VIX is going to test this green trend line, maybe even lower. Maybe it back tests this old. Man, this is a crazy old channel. Anyway, probably in the low 20s. How, why, I don't know. That's, again, you don't know the why until it happens. This is a debate I have with people every freaking day. Why, Dan? Why do you just trust the market? What are you doing? Why are you doing just what the market's doing? I don't need to know the why, because the why doesn't come. You ever heard of buy the rumor, sell the news? Well, the why is not known until what? The news drops. Maybe something's coming. I don't know. Stimulus, who the hell knows? Again, in my mind, the market's trying to draw in bulls before the next drop. That's what it does. The SPY. People are saying, oh, the top's 410, the top is this. Top. No. Every time you've tried to short, you've been wrong. Every short has been wrong. Now what? Novice gap. Do we have a double novice gap? We talk about these repeating formations. I still think this is the ultimate goal of the market maker, is to what? Get bulls to jump in and believe that no matter what, the market won't drop in time because it's diamond hands, whatever, and you need to wipe out bears. Okay? I hope this is very clear. And so this is the thing when, I put out this video about the art of trading. Well, people want to know exact levels. Dan, what level is it? What level is it going to be? I don't know. But I don't keep shorting, hoping, praying, wishing. My guess, and I've said this, let me pull this down, because this is again, remember, I don't trade on this computer. I apologize. Let me try to get this thing down. Come with me. There we go. Said probably in the 411. Let me pull it. Wherever the 100-day is, you see that sucker? There you go. Probably the 411, maybe even up to 420. I don't know. I don't really have I don't try to have this crystal ball mentality. I try to just be a little late. Again, if I'm on vacation, I made a mistake in the past. You've seen it. Sometimes I get into a trade and I go, it's coming. I just don't care. Now, if you wanted to start shorting, I get it. I understand. The risk now is worth the reward because it is a bear market rally. But this is the hardest part of this, is we don't know when it ends and how it's going to end. I have theories. We've talked about it. Next month, August is seasonally absolutely dog crap for the markets. Well, it's July. So could the market rally? It's possible. It's totally possible that it rallies to begin the month because, again, new money. Again, back to basics videos. Check out, again, the art of trading. Check out first the last 3 and the first 3 trading days of the month. They are in the YouTube channel. Please watch them. Try to understand cognitively how this works. New money comes into the market at the beginning of months, but tops and bottoms. Look at this. First of the month, right? Little chop down, right? End of the month. Here you go. Do you see this? How there's major inflection points near ends and first of the month? I'm trying to show you this on live. Here you go. First of the month. Chop top. Chop bottom near the end of the month. Okay. I hope this becomes very obvious. Again, watch the video, back up. This is July 28th. This isn't August 1st, 3rd. What's next week? What are those dates? This isn't August 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th. So, if we know the timing of things, usually revolve around the first of the month, the first 3 trading days of the month, that should be the time maybe you start shorting. Now, if it backs up, people are going to go, it's bearish, game over, here it goes. I think it's going to be choppy. Choppy-toppy. Just please, don't be so quick to short here, because shorting right now gets burned every time, and we don't know the top. We have speculative pricing. I think, again, for the Qs, I've said 312, 315, maybe even 320. I don't know. I don't know, folks. You're trying to, again, this is the problem with traders. They think they know for sure. It's a probability games. It's a probability game. We don't know. We don't know for sure. You know what probably makes more sense? Break over this, make it look like you're making a higher high, then fail. Because this is what I'm talking about. You need to knock out the bears before you go lower. And you need to convince bulls that a bull market is starting. How that formation plays out, it's probably a blowout chop top. That would be my guess, not a V-top, because a V-top would not convince anyone to stick around. Keep that in mind. If the market just went and then came right back down, bulls would be looking to get out quick. I don't think that. I think the market makers are looking to do what? Entrench bulls into a trade that they will hold as the market just goes lower, lower, and lower later in this bear market. IWM, what have we said? It's leading up. Leading up. Here we go. Leading up. Thinking somewhere 187, maybe the 190s. I don't know. I hope you see this theory of, or this understanding that support equals resistance. We're watching these zones, but we don't know anything for sure. We don't. And so trying to be the first one to short this market is not going to give you any sort of reward, because if it's a chop top, which I predict, That means you getting in short, buying puts, you're going to get decay. You're decayed out on your puts, or you're going to have to sit through some what? Hey, cat, stop it. Some really frustrating crap. And that's the goal, is to try to sideswipe it and layer in and be cognizant. Oh, man, the UVXY. People were talking about buying this in the 12 and 13 range. I'm like, God, don't do it. Anyway, gold. Here's another thing. Okay, what did we say today? If you get a professional gap off the lows. Wow, you're really making a mess over there. Why would you sell this? I know this is a doji, yada yada, but it's a gap off the low. Just like a gap off the high. Should proceed. Now, I've said, and I'm going to drop the notes. You can stop by the Discord room. I still think you get up to 164, 165, 166 area. Please, do not be too quick to sell. I think it's a dead cat bounce. We've talked about it. You don't have the volume. The sentiment isn't wiped out. But even along the way, you get these bounces. Are you seeing this? And that was a what? 168 up to 174. 6 points, $60. I mean, yeah, 164 right there. That to me is near term. I don't believe in gold long term, because not that I don't believe in gold, period. Actually, I love gold long term. Buy as much physical as you freaking can. But again, the sentiment is not wiped out. I want to see gold smash during what? The end of the bear market, or it's more like when the Feds pivot, because the bear market won't end when they pivot. When they announce the pivot, they're basically announcing crap is getting bad, and the market usually goes lower. We've shown you multiple times the best time to buy this stuff. Here you go. Do it again. Remember in 2008. Remember the market bottomed in March, right? 2009. This was the capitulation. This was the moment where Kramer came out and goes, they know nothing. They're raising rates. Blah, blah. Well, then they pivoted shortly after. Then what? Then gold bottomed. We're not there yet. I don't think we're there. Either way, I would not be shorting them. If I'm wrong, shorting is not the right answer right now. Someone said they're selling put or buying puts on silver. Please don't. Look at that. Novice gap, professional gap. How high? I don't know. Let the professional gap play out. We don't know. Don't be too early. GDX, same thing. Get over the 20-day. It can get back to the 28 range. Said this. Again, Newmont is really holding it back, but maybe they release the hounds off of Newmont. We'll see. We don't know. Let's just run through the miners. AG said this morning, yes, I had problems with potentially the metals sector, but guess what? Popped right back. Oh, it's a doji, Dan. It's done. You're so close to the 50-day. Don't even try. Don't even. AEM earnings. I don't even know if their numbers were good or bad, but the market doesn't seem to care. It bounced up to the 20-day. You see this 20-day with the GDX? You're seeing it. Oh, I apologize. Didn't do the GDXJ. Let me talk about this. The GDXJ above the 20-day. Junior miners leading, typically bullish, right? Right. All right, let's let that play out, okay? Just, you got to let it play out. This looks bullish, said somewhere in the 36, 38 range. If you are 35, 36 range. I don't think it's worth trying to sell too quickly. If you bought down here, patience building with volume. Again, there's a short squeeze. Maybe that's all it is. Again, I don't really trust the volume, just like we talked about down here, but it did bounce, and we said that's not a problem. 35, you got 7 points. Say you get 6 or 7 points, that's 20%. Please do not be too quick to cover or to sell this stuff. Layer in, layer out. If you're worried, sell some, but don't. Please, don't be so quick. AG talked about it. It needs to act better. AEM, like it, but got to get over the 20-day. If it gets over the 20-day, which it did last time, it chopped around. I don't know. Maybe you can get back up into the 45s. Newmont, this is the biggest problem with the GDX because it's a big holding in there. Their earnings chopping bottom. I still think at some point, the GDX, you will see this. You will see the trend line. You see it, the major trend line. It's coming there. That's the monthly. It's coming. Okay? PAAS. Someone got mad. They sold some yesterday. I mean, I sold all my miners. I sold all of them. And people were like, oh, you regret you chasing? No. Now I'm advising what I would do is if I had them. And not once did I say short it. I can admit I'm wrong and it can still go without me. I don't care. Looks like you might have a doji sandwich. That's what I'd be paying attention to. That's what I really think would be hilarious tomorrow is if gold and the miners doji out and then go, what? Bam, a little higher. Or not a little higher, but they continue higher. Whatever they're going to do. Materials names. What have we said? X probably gets up in this 22 range. Once it dojied out a couple days ago and then took it out on the Fed day, bullish continuation. I mean, it's just hard to be bearish unless you really want to get wiped out. Nucor, what do we say? Backed up, high and tight's fine, got to get over 128. Well, guess what? You're over 128. Now you got to get over the 100-day. A lot of overhead resistance, sadly, but that just is what it is. Be aware, but again, this isn't bearish. That action, so here's an example of something where when you look at it and you go, that should be bearish, and then it does what? Tightens up and goes higher. That's stuff that happens when the market is going higher, not when it's going lower, because if it was the market that's going lower, this indecision should be followed by lower lows, not higher highs. Keep that in mind, okay? CCJ, man, the uranium folks are really arrogant online. They think that they have just won. Iron what? We have a doji. We've talked about this, the long term. You do not buy this stuff for the long term. You idiots out there that keep recommending it. We're burning all of your followers. You guys have been saying it for years. You got to buy this stuff. Understand, the best time to buy this, just like gold, wet, when the market capitulates. Again, the fundamentals are there, but if fundamentals mattered, the stock would be at 100. They don't. Okay? Just like EXPI wouldn't be at $14 a share. It'd be at 70. Fundamentals don't matter. Stop being like that. Big up, doji, indecision. Just be red alert. Because again, I think ultimately you're going to see lower prices, 16 to 18 at some point. Because again, they throw the baby out with the bathwater. Ever heard that saying? That's what it means. That's CCJ is a baby, and they will throw it away. VALE talked about, hey, it held here, nice little gap, closed back over the 20-day. Again, all these names showing things that you see in bullish markets. Arrow talked about get over 20-day, should be okay. Mosaic said I don't like this name as much as CF right now. Hit the 50-day, backing off. CF. We talked about volume price analysis, picking up on the anomalies. Here was your anomaly, right? Here was your anomaly. This thing has acted really well. Obviously gets up here to the 100-day, backs off. Not a big deal. I mean, again, it's that. Look at this. Boom, backs off. Boom, backs off. Like, something's here. The down moves are much smaller than the up moves. It's telling you something. It's bullish. Now, again, could it be close to topping? I don't know. If the market tops, this will top. Just keep that in mind. Just don't. All I ask is if you were bullish, which we are, please do not remain bullish endlessly. Know the sentiment. Like once the sentiment of everybody screaming bear online go, I guess it's a bull market, diamond hands, time to flip that sentiment. Because that sentiment is manipulated by the market makers. Keep that in mind. They are planting the seed for retail destruction. You're trusting stock twits and these Twitter followers. I am telling you right now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything, but I somehow just noticed like they literally lead people to do the wrong thing every time. So if you do your back testing of your data on that, what do you find? That to be completely true. AMD. We talked about this. People are like, oh, it's going lower now. Nope, these are things you don't see in a bear market. Bear market rally you can. We've said somewhere in the mid-90s. Said that weeks ago. Said that down here. You're welcome. I thought the 100-day, maybe even up to there. Who knows? Which up to there is like mid to upper 90s. IBM, let's run into that real quick. Because again, some people are like, I'm not sure. And it's like, yes, it's acting okay. I like this stock. I do. But because it held up way better in the bear market. If you were actually going to hold something and you think this is going to hold up, sure. Now you have a reference point, 125, 126 area. Just watch it. Because keep in mind, though, if the bear market continues, I don't know how this all ends. I'm trying to be completely honest and give you different perspectives. Because, again, if you think for a minute the market is A, B, C, D, E, F, always wrong. Wrong. You have to be mentally flexible. People get so mad at me for changing my mind. It's like, I'm just trying to do what the market's doing. I like shorting and the market went higher. Well, then I'm not a bear anymore. Oh, but you got to stay bearish. And it's like, well, the S&P just ripped 10 points, 15 points on me. No, I'm not going to do that. SMH, we talked about it. Get here one day. You're here. I still think you get a little higher. You can see the 0.382 in the support here range. I've said anywhere between 240, maybe 250 now. Because, again, we don't know. If the market rips higher, it's potentially could go higher. That's just the nature. Again, the volume sucks. We know that. It's drawing in bulls. It's drawing in Nancy Pelosi's husband. No, I'm just kidding. That's just the nature of the beast. Look at the market flopping around at the close. No one knows what Apple's going to do. Yeah, it just is what it is. Apple, speaking of, here comes earnings. Things you don't see in a bear, like this, things that don't line up for a bear market action. When Apple's been ripping like this, and bears have been just saying the market's going lower. How do you look at Apple? Because keep in mind, Apple is such a large part of all markets, QQQ and SPY. Every freaking day, bear, 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 bear. I'm like, look at Apple, guys. That's not bearish. Now, here we go. Doji going into earnings. I still think 160s is probably on the radar. You never know. You just don't know. What if... Now, this is kind of scary to think. Oh, what's up, cat? Now you want to be my friend. Where did it go? Why did the trend lines all of a sudden get over there? All of a sudden, I can't draw. What did I do? But I think, you know what? If you connected this top and this top real quick... Oh my gosh. There you go. I'm like, what did I do? What if it was what if it's crazy? Crazy. What if it got up to 170s? We don't know, man. We just don't know. Okay? We just don't know. So please don't get excited about anything. It's be very, what I would call what? Just neutral. Neutral. We're not left or right. We're not negative or bull or bear. We're just trying to go with the evidence. What do we say? If this gets over the 42s, could it head up to the 50 level, which we think is coming? Here you can see the resistance, support resistance on the left. Here you go. Here we go. Okay? That's what I'd be paying attention to. I don't know if it'll get there, but if it breaks over this, it seems like it should. Because what we said, the 42 level has been the cap. Cap on that. Deep. Tesla. Shorted this last week, made a few points, and then what? This isn't bearish action. Notice it makes new highs. We've said somewhere in this 870s. Maybe it gets to the 200-day. I don't know. This is the hardest part right now, is that we don't know how high it can run. If you were around for the XOP stuff and you saw when we went out of town and it just kept running higher, we knew it was going to go down at some point, right? And personally I did, I made a mistake in that I let it run while I was out of town, and it ultimately ended up winning. But that was not the way to do it. The way to do it is to eyeball it, watch it, and know. Because again, if I was on vacation for 8 days, I mean, that's just the nature. I can't watch it. I anticipated something. It went around, and people are like, oh, well, you don't know how to pick tops and bottoms. Like, okay, we picked the bottom in the market, and I'm trying to show you how to pick the top. Now, we have to let the evidence play out. We cannot continue to short and see higher highs. That's a problem. Again, we have some longs going. We got some trades. Here you go, Meta. I apologize if I didn't talk about it earlier. Talked about you could buy it at 155 down here. Look at it. It's the lows. What if it's just this repeat of this action right here? This channel and pop. We don't know anything. And I said this earlier in the Discord room, and I hope people, again, pay attention. Think about today's action. This is bullish, guys. Everybody who sold today is wrong. Shorts and bulls who sold, because you're closing at the highs. Look at this formation. This is not bearish at the lows. This is actually bullish when you see this hammer. Because think about it, all day, 6 hours. I mean, what time is it? I mean, it's about to be the close in 15 minutes. Everybody who sold today, wrong. Wrong, wrong, wrong if it closes up. Green, whatever. Well, I'm trying to warn you the things to look for. Now, again, maybe earnings bombs, maybe Amazon screws up. We don't know. But the probability say what? The market continues to go higher. It's kicking and dragging bears to the curb, and it's pulling in bulls who don't want to be bulls. Love it. That's what I want to see. Absolutely, because that's what happens. It'll probably flip the trend then after that. We have to get everybody to give up shorting. We have to get everybody going all in long. Market makers have inventory to unload. They buy at wholesale prices. They're selling it at retail. EXPI, here's an example of failed fundamentals. Maybe it's a covenant handle. I don't know. I own this stock. I don't believe in it. I work for the company. Love the company. Don't believe in the stock. UTHR, we talked about volume price analysis. Double bottom. Another little double B. Here you go. Came back to the breakout. If you did not sell it up here, I don't know what to tell you. It is not acting well. It is now lagging the market. As the market's making higher highs, notice this. This is making lower highs. Keep that in mind. Let's end it on the oil stuff because I get so many comments about this, and it's just like, can you hit the pause button? I like the short, right? We like it. Clearly, no doubt. Let it get up here again. This choppy, toppy action. What if it's this crap? And you're shorting? No. No. We have not seen volume yet. I don't really trust it. I want to see, again, we didn't even really see volume up here. This is what sucks about this trade is like the USO isn't the oil futures. Here was the big volume, right? Well, you probably drawing in, still got, maybe the market maker has a lot more inventory to draw off. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know, but I do know what we have references, right? We have references in the 79.80 range. It's probably oil 100, 102. That's, to me, you can stab up there. But if you're not, and this is the hardest part, it's not following through. It's not dropping and following through. Be careful, okay? Nat gas. I had this conversation again. Congratulations if you shorted like we recommended up here. Said this is a bearish formation. Started looking this over again. I'm like, yeah, the market's holding up. No. I'm like, crap. What if it's a repeat of this? What if it's a repeat of this choppy top? Like, again, V tops. Very difficult. Everyone thought this was the top, and it came right back to higher highs. I don't know anything for sure, but I do know that natural gas is going to play with your heart. It's going to play with your emotions. It's like silver. It's the silver compared to gold relationship. I don't trust it. I don't trust it, okay? And again, I hope it fails for all of you guys shorting it. I absolutely love to see it collapse. I have no position, but just as the neutral observer, if you have puts, have time. If you're shorting it, be aware, trade around it, pick in the top. Not that easy. Not that easy. Not that easy. So just keep that in mind. At this point, let's get into XOP because here's another one. People really excited to short. Buy drip. I get it. Said I think I like drip in the 17s. It just seems to be climbing higher again. Oil service will rise with the market. Even if oil sucks and natural gas crap, it will still tendency to rise. Look at ExxonMobil. Here's an example. It's going to close at the high of the day. What did we say? Get into this gap. Give me some of that 94, 95 love. That's all I got. I'll throw a few next to these oil names because, again, you guys are just so, you really want to short. I know it paid us a lot of money earlier in the year. PXD. Crapping out the higher highs. Remember, it chopped and topped. EQT, everyone's like, oh, game over. Hey, we nailed the spot. Cool. But does it look like this? Does it look like this? That's probably how it tops, y'all. Fang. Diamondback. Probably somewhere in this 124s, maybe 127. Chevron, what did we say? 151s yesterday? Well, look where we're at. But here's the problem. It's closing at the highs, and the market's going higher. Maybe it goes to 157. I don't know. Valero. This is a nice one. Nice as in crap. Pop and flop. Again, you have to be very cognizant that these names, as much as you want to short them, they might not go down immediately because the market is doing what? It's going higher. Got any real estate questions, investing? You're starting to make money because, again, I think cumulatively the Discord board has made 7 figures or more of money in trading in the last couple months, and you're thinking you need to invest? Well, I told you a million times, real estate. If you want to hedge inflations, people will always need a place to live. We've had a housing shortage for years. Again, the building costs are rising. There is no way that housing is going to crash, meaning the prices are going to drop significantly. You will come back like the 70s and 80s, and we will see higher prices because what? Cost of building, interest rates going higher means what? If you bought a house in the sub 6% interest rate, you're probably not going to sell it. All right. Talk to you guys and gals later. Peace. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.